What do people not recognize as bullying, but actually is? Dating someone through a dare. Criticizing people every chance possible, justifying it as real-world preparation. Provoking someone's anger so much that almost anyone on earth would eventually retaliate physically, thus leading to the bullying victim getting into trouble. Basically anything that uses manipulation and is sneaky and deceptive so that it flies under the radars or either school teachers or law enforcement authorities. Belittling people for asking genuine questions, or shaming them for not knowing what is polite based on your specific culture and lifestyle. People come from all different generations, cultures, and walks of life, and what is considered polite versus offensive really does vary. There are much better ways to teach people why you prefer certain language over others than using shame. There were girls in my year at school that used to shout out, "Oh wow, where did you get your hair done?" to me, which never seemed like an insult until you saw them giggling and pointing, and teachers never picked up on it. Hell, it took me a while to figure it out myself until one girl confessed at the end of the year that they were making fun of my hair. Some of the worst bullying doesn't touch the victim at all. Doesn't use bad words. It's often done right in front of the clueless teachers, or other authority figures. That's the point. It's the bully flexing that they can torture you openly in public and get away with it. It's the awful plausible deniability that makes you so sure that even if you reached out for help nobody would even believe that you were being bullied at all. My teachers sure didn't recognize things like kicking the back of my chair over and over again and laughing as bullying, but it was to me. Booing a woman for declining a public proposal. Not sure if it was bullying, but it was hella damaging to my psyche. Whenever I invited my friends somewhere they'd always come. But they never invited me. They'd talk about how much fun they all had over the weekend right in front of me. I was getting indisputably bullied, like rocks thrown at me, and in my suicide note I wrote, "My bullies care more about hating me than my friends do liking me." Teasing a child when they have a friend of another gender. Ooh, is this your girlfriend/boyfriend? Not taking no for an answer. People insulting your interests. Music taste especially. Please just listen to my rock/techno/pop in peace. When people get called on their terrible behavior and try to pretend they're the victim instead of actually taking accountability for their actions. It happens all the time. It's easy to say sorry, learn your lesson and not do the SHT thing again. Those popular girls that speak to you like you're a baby, and act all nicey nice with you. Family making fun of you for stuff you said or did when you were a child, not even a teen. Sorry that kids say and do stupid SHT, but they don't deserve to be made of for said things well into their adult years. Mods banning you for criticism. It's more subtle, but I think toxic positivity is just bullying someone into shutting up about their unpleasant feelings. Just think about happy things. Be positive. There are people who have it so much worse. Boys bullying girls in middle school. It happened a lot of times and all I got told was that he does it because he likes you. He's just giving you some attention, stop being so dramatic. People in relationships who manipulate the other if they're growing as a person out of fear of them changing too much or losing them, happens more often than you think. Talking over someone, makes me want to slap a bee. Parents manipulating their kids into making life decisions expected/wanted for them. Offering unsolicited advice to adult children when they lead their life not the preferred way or the way the parents envisioned. Backhanded compliments, "Wow, that haircut looks good on you. It covers the acne on your forehead really well." It's an insult, not a compliment. I wish people would notice this more. Ostracization. School-age girls are particularly good at disguising their bullying as compliments. For example, "Oh, what nice shoes. Are they from Walmart? Look, Hannah, Chelsea is wearing shoes from Walmart." The insult, for anyone not familiar with US culture, is that it's a way of saying Chelsea is poor and or doesn't have good taste in footwear. Then if Chelsea complains to an adult, the bully just gives a wide-eyed innocent look and says it was a compliment and they love those shoes. Death by a 1,000 paper cuts. Persistent non-stop picking throughout the day, every day, by different people. Even if it's mild, at some point you just feel the world is against you, and all the faces blur on who is being the bully. It's everyone. Roasting. You're not being witty, you're just a bully. Making comments about the skinny guy, We all recognize making jokes/nasty comments about overweight people as bullying, but for some reason are willing to accept it when a skinny dude is on the receiving end. Having unrealistic expectations for new and/or young hires, they will make mistakes, but that doesn't give anyone permission to verbally, mentally, emotionally, or financially abuse them. Controlling someone else's narrative to lift yourself up. Exclusion. I know others mentioned high school examples, but my biggest bullying example always came from the adults in my family comparing the younger cousins. Like so-and-so has all this education in this or that field and not doing anything with it. You don't want to be like that, do you? Or it's on you, if you don't make something out of yourself, like so-and-so. Just huck. Everyone has their own journey and story. It's not my job to outwork, outachieve someone else. Let me figure out my own SHT, please. Actual bullying. Teachers will let that SHT go on for years, but as soon as you fight back the teachers swoop in to save the bully. I had a co-worker accuse me of bullying because I was questioning a work process she had put in place that meant she did less work and I did more. I was arguing with her the process didn't make sense as the products would have to go to shipping, then go to her and then back to shipping. Luckily my boss overheard the whole thing, so when she accused me of bullying he said that wasn't bullying, that was a disagreement. She demanded that he send an email telling me what the process should be, so he did. The email backed me up with the process I was arguing for. Talking behind someone's back with other friends in the group over insignificant things. Personality tests on job interviews. Having two people who you regarded as your best friends, but always made fun of you. This happened to me when I was a kid, and back then, I didn't even feel like I was bullied. I always felt so unhappy, but for some reason, I always viewed them as my best friends and never even considered it bullying. Even when one of them left me to become friends with a person who I actually knew back then was a bully to me. And that friend who left me even asked me to not be friends with her anymore, because that bully did not like it. And then later, when I had new friends, that same friend got mad at me because she thought I was neglecting her. I didn't know it back then, but this friend honestly was really toxic. She can have all the friends she wants, but the only friend I can have was her. Cancel culture. You make a mistake, if you are warned by a couple of people, that's okay. But if you are warned, lynched, criticized, and sweared by so many people, which is what we do, then, it is bullying. Pressuring you to date their friend. Thinking they understand that you want it but are just shy. Certain parenting styles. Saying a hurtful thing then say I was joking. When Reddit posts videos out of context to shame one side. Then the hive mind in the comments section all eat it up. Talking to someone and telling them they're rude for not wanting to talk back to you. How is it not rude to force a conversation upon someone? Exclusion is pretty bad. It's not bullying because they're not hurting or otherwise harassing the person, but it hurts badly. This includes everything from your friend group being upset with you and excluding you when you're 8 and when you're in college and all your friends are ghosting you. It's so psychologically damaging. It hurts your confidence, self-image, and much more. A lot of the people in my old friend group were very, shall we say, unavailable. Some because they actually had issues with me, some because of their own mental and life problems. Either way, it killed me for the longest time not knowing if I was being annoying or being SHT when it was really that these people were just not willing to communicate even when approached. I eventually learned that it's not my responsibility to constantly try to initiate things with these people, and that if they weren't going to try then they clearly don't care about keeping my friendship. Despite that though, my self-confidence and social skills are damaged even 4 or so years later. There is absolutely no excuse for adults to not be able to sit down and maturely discuss with each other the problems in their relationship. The fact that so many adults choose to go ghost instead of confronting problems bothers me so much, and even more so knowing how many people had to deal with the kind of SHT I did as a result. You even see this issue in family courts where one parent will try to deprive the other of all visitation rights, which is unbelievably traumatizing for a child to have to be between. Shit is just ridiculous and there's no good reason for it. I was always a shy, awkward girl, and people would always say things to me to make me uncomfortable. I came to refer to it as watch the shy girl squirm. It's kind of hard to describe, and it sounds so obscure to anyone who wasn't also a painfully shy little soul in school. It would be things like sitting in class, minding my business, and having a big group of guys turn to me and say, "Hey, do you like my friend here? Do you think he's hot?" Or sitting at lunch and having some girl jump in front of me and ask where I got my bra while all her friends laughed at my dazed expression. It was just really SHT. I went to school with the same people since kindergarten, and so there was no way I was going to work my way into their established cliques. Adults' advice of putting myself out there and talking to new people just wasn't viable when I was with the same pool of people I'd been with for years. I was just left alone, ostracized except for those occasional games of make the shy girl squirm. Graduating high school and coming out of my shell went hand in hand, and I'm a million times happier. I'm a well-adjusted adult with good friends and a good life. I just wish my memories of school were a little happier. Helping someone so you can suggest that person is not capable of doing something without your intervention. That thing kids do where the entire friend group will surround you and one of them will have a conversation with you while all the other are watching and giggling because the entire joke is someone is talking to you. Elaborate displays of patriotism. It's rarely a wholesome show of devotion to one's country. It's more often an aggressively blunt message to neighbors that you have some political axe to grind.